Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on any of my videos. I really do appreciate your time. I've got a finished project to share with you today that's made from the same yarn as the shirt that I'm wearing. This was made with Yarnspiration's Caron's Cotton Painterly Cakes. And you can see they've got a pattern here on the label, but that is not the pattern that I did with this. So this pattern is very much just plain. I don't know if it's single crochets or double crochets. I'm not going to read it real quick, but I wanted to make more of a shell type shirt. So this is a shirt that I made in March of 2023. It just says summer top, and it was also by Yarnspirations with a 4mm hook. And so this yarn is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. Each of these cakes come with 227 grams, so it's 481 yards, quite a bit of yarn. And as you can see, they've got quite a lot of color changes. You've got like a couple of different yellows and a couple of different blues in through here. This one's kind of a greeny blue, kind of an aquamarine here. And so I will post the video where I shared making this shirt with you. I'll link that down in the description, as well as the pattern for the project that I finished to share with you today. So the blue cakes, these are discontinued. They were originally $11.99, but I think I got them for $5 or $6, something like that. It's a 4 worsted weight that recommends a 5mm hook. But both of these projects were done with a 4mm hook, just to have a little bit more you know, tight stitching. And so the blue one is called Shimmering Pond, I think, if I keep covering it up. Yeah, Shimmering Pond. And the red one that I'm going to show you, the pinks, is called Rosette. So I had 2 different sets of cakes, and the pink one had, the Rosette had all these different kind of pink tones in it, and then like a yellow, right? Like all of a sudden just that yellow. And it also had a gray ribbon that I pulled out of there, not a ribbon, but a section of gray yarn that I pulled out to use for my project that I was very excited to have. I needed that at that time. And so I do have like 2 partial cakes. This is one again where I had to pull out that center section. I wanted some more of this blue or green to finish where I was working. And there's just so much more of the aqua and the yellows in the blue cake that I found. So you may also remember I made this little guy for my grandson. I haven't given it to him yet. I still want to do something more with the eyes, but little cutie patootie here. This was real fun to make. It was a little challenging for me, but I had already made Niles the crocodile here, so I was feeling a little brave to do it. And then the collar wasn't called for in the pattern, but I kind of thought that it would help strengthen the neck area and give him a little something something. Like, it was kind of plain and boring, if you asked me, like, you know. And this project was one in and of itself, in that I had to find the right yarn for it, because anyway I'll link that video down below as well if you wanted to check that out. But when he gets a little bit older, I'll give that to him. But so I had a bunch of scraps. I had I've been carrying this around, or, you know, hanging on to this since I worked on the dog. And I've got these little balls of partial colors, and, you know, I would be working, I think I have a certain color, and then work down a little bit and find that there's another color down within my yarn ball. So this pattern was challenging because I wanted it to be so symmetrical in colors. So this pattern is called, also from the Crochet Crowd. It's just a market bag. I don't think it had any other name than that. But here is my bag. And when I start to make a bag, I think, oh, I love that so much, I should have made that a shirt instead of a bag. But so this one starts with the chain at the bottom that you work both sides of. And then I didn't know what kind of striping I would be able to do through here based on the scraps and stuff that I had. And so this is what I was talking about when I knew that, you know, like I wanted my main color or whatever to be this darker color. So then as I started to stripe up my scraps, I got to the pink, and I didn't like the way that the yellow looked on it. And if I did the blue, then I'd have to like go up and then reverse the colorway. And so that's always, as you guys know me, I always talk about the challenges in playing out the colors for the pattern. And so this is that gray I was talking about that was inside the pink cake that I pulled out. So I could have used one whole cake and then some scraps if I was just going to run all the way through the cake and didn't care what colors were coming up or anything like that, because the bag weighs 249 grams and one cake was 227 grams. So you could have done this with just one cake and a little bit of extra, or make it just a little bit, you know, cut out one of the repeats, and then you'd have enough to do, make one of these with just one cake. So it's pretty basic. It's just some half double crochets and then some like sort of puff. I don't remember if they call them puffs or clusters or whatever. You grab a couple of loops all together and then go through it, you know, kind of a basic pattern. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I always say that. And this one I'm sort of on the fence with about this seam. Can you see it on this side or is it on this side? See, I shouldn't even point it out, but I'm going to because it's a thing. So when you are, let me hold it like this and see if you can see it. Can you see it? So when you come up, when you go up a row for these half doubles, you do 2 chains that don't count for anything. So if your eye follows that, you're going to see that. I mean, I got to point it out because my eye sees it, and if you're all crafters the way I am, you're going to see it too. So here I am pointing it out, but if you're just walking by, nobody's going to see it. Who's going to know? Nobody's going to know. So if you were to, you could have like a much quieter seam that's right along the edge that you won't see. This seam sort of falls on the face, on the, you know, the mane of the pattern. It's not hidden along the side like you might be able to. So if you were to do one panel just in a rectangle that you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, then you could seam the side seamlessly, you know, more so, and kind of hide it on the edge like that. But then your stitches are back and forth. When you work in the round like this, you get all your stitches facing forward. So there's a benefit, you know, and then the drawback to it. So depending on which way you want to go with it, you know, I like all my stitches going the same way. If you want to have a seamless look, then you want to do your back and forth and then just sew up the side. And maybe you don't want to sew up the side, maybe you want to work in the round. So you could, you know, this type of pattern allows for your own choices in a lot of cases. And then, you know, you just come around and start doing single crochets all the way around here. There was 101 chains to do this handle, which was a lot. That part was very, very tedious. And a lot of times when you do a handle, you just go around the chain, but of course I prefer to go into the chain. So it's very then tedious again, like I say. So anyway, so the bag is 14 inches from the bottom of the bag to the top here at the mouth. And then it's 18 inches wide. And then the handles are another 14 inches tall after that. So again, you know, a bag like this, you've got a lot of choices. You can just continue on and not change out the color. You know, I wanted specific stripes, so I did change the color. Every 4 rounds is what you're doing here. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that very much. And like I said, I almost kind of wish I made that into a shirt. I like that. All right. So the other thing that I have to share with you is I broke a rule. You all know I said I wasn't going to buy any yarn, and then I announced the 2 events at the end of the month here coming up. One of them is a birthday event, so I'm going to allow myself to buy something at that event. It's the store's birthday, and it's, you know, my birthday month, and the store, I have a punch card, so I'm going to get some free yarn when I purchase a certain dollar amount. So in addition to that, years ago, I do believe it was years ago now, I can't remember exactly when this all occurred, but I bought some yarn at Hobby Lobby and bought a pattern to use that yarn. And then I realized that searching for patterns can sometimes be unfriendly because they give you a different weight yarn pattern than you requested. So I put into my search engine chunky, and it gave me a worsted weight pattern that I fell in love with and then bought for $7, I think, and then realized that I can't use it because it's worsted weight and not chunky. So just to share with you what yarn this was, because again, the pattern, this is black and white, so I hope to insert a color picture here, but this is the pattern by Heart Hook Home, and I will link this down below if you wanted to go out there to find it to buy it. I don't remember if I saw what year this was, but anyway, the yarn that I used, I ended up making another cardigan with it anyway, and so that was my first Etsy purchase. Thank you, Susan. I hope you really, really love it. But this is, whoops, this is the colorway that the yarn is. It's this changing color from sort of these rusty color to the black and white kind of marled, and then this awesome green in here. It's called Painted Canyon, and I fell in love with this yarn and then was super bummed that I couldn't make my paid for pattern. So ever since then, I've been hanging on to my paid for pattern and waiting to find the right yarn so that I could make this cardigan, because I'm so excited about it. It's hooded, there's pockets, love it. So I made a purchase in the past, and you've seen this before. This is the only yarn that I believe I will ever be looking for as a vintage yarn that I love, that I will buy most of the time that I see it on eBay is where you find it. This is dated 2015. So this is Big Twist Premium, and this is before they went through their whole rebranding and all the white labels and all that garbage. So I don't mean garbage. I don't mean to talk them down. It's nice yarn. Lots of people use it. I spoke out of line right there. Sorry about that. But can you see this gorgeous yarn? It's a 4, and it's squishy, and it's lovely, and I love this yarn. I've had lots of it in the past. I don't know, can you see here? Yeah, these are all my remnants. So these are chunky in the colorway Moroccan, and then I've got some others. But I recently bought this, and I have 1, 2, 3, I have 9 skeins of this, and these are 116 yards each, so 85 grams, worsted weight 4, and it calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook. This one is called Misfit Stripes. So again, I want to make this cardigan with it, but I'm thinking that that's a lot of that yellow. I love it, but I don't love it at the same time. I love it and it scares me at the same time. So my confession to you about breaking my yarn buying process is in this box, and I haven't opened it yet. I'm waiting to open it online with you, or on film with you. You have to be careful when you're out there looking at eBay and you're just looking at something, because then you sometimes get an offer sent to you that's lower than the posted price, and sometimes you just can't pass it up. This one I actually even, oh, before I get into that, I was going to show you this too. This is you know, like the mill ends. It was kind of the same thing of this same yarn, this Big Twist Premium. So this is a gorgeous like burgundy brick color, and I've got this, you know, sort of 3-pack for it. And then I started thinking that might be that right pop of color that, you know, sort of the green and the other one in the Painted Canyon. Maybe this is kind of that pop of color. Would you put that together? Anyway, so so I've got kind of like a 2.5 of those skeins, and so anyway. So I was thinking that this needed something calmer. Like I wanted to find some of that white or some of the black or some of the, it's not really dark black. I mean, you get some tonal color in here of the different black and gray. But so anyway, so this guy, so I looked at it and I thought it was too much money. And then they sent me an offer and I declined it. And then later they sent me another offer. And I went even lower than that, and I just laughed. I said, John, he's not gonna, I told my husband, he's not gonna buy this or go for this offer. And he did. And so I bought yarn for this specific project of this specific yarn, and I'm gonna give myself permission for it. So here's my box. I'm super excited. There should be 3 skeins in here, And let's just open it. Ta-da! So, very nicely, simply packed. Nothing exciting about that. They do look little. Nope, it's the same, 116 yards. Doesn't that look smaller? Maybe they're just compact. But yeah, so I'll be able to mix that in so that it won't be so crazy. I think the colors are matching just perfect, don't you? Okay, my screen's getting a little pinky there, but this one's called Graphite Tones, and that was worth every penny that I paid for it. Sometimes when something, you know, you're so excited and it's gonna solve a problem, and then you get it and you're like, wah, wah. That was not it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I'm super excited now. Look at that. Yay! So in the pattern for the cardigan, she uses the Painted Canyon, but then she also uses some solid, I think white and solid black or gray in there as well. Definitely black. I don't know if also gray, but she uses some solids. And I was worried that I wasn't going to have solids to mix in with this, but this I am counting as a win. Very much so. Look at that. Perfect. I love it. Yay. Okay, so I've got 3 of those. And just my little package. Look for more yarn, big savings. Thank you, follow us. Thank you, positive. Your feedback matters. Very nice. Okay. So that's not the end of my confession. Because I was looking for that, I also happened to click on a cellophane pack of 3 of this, I think it was called Cranberry. And it was stupid priced low. But I thought, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. And then they sent me an offer that was even discounted more. I think 40% off the posted that I already thought was a low price. So I snatched that up very quickly. It's been delayed in shipping. I thought I'd have that to share with you today as well. But at least when I purchased that one, it helped bring down the price point for this. So I kind of feel like it helped weigh out my being bad of buying this. But so yeah, so now I just have to dig out. I just pulled this out this morning to share with you as I was going to open this box to see what amount of each. I mean, because it says like approximately 1,700 yards for a 6 to 8, approximately 2,000 yards for a 10 to 12. And I think somewhere it said that it was sizes run large. So if a more form-fitting cardigan is desired, go down a pattern size. So I'm going to have to do, you know, the maths and figure out which colors to replace her pattern colors for, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, very super excited about that. I didn't know if this was going to be a win or not, and it was a win. So that was good. So yay. Hey guys, so I haven't even edited the video that I just recorded. The internet came back up, so I was able to actually see the devastation from last night's storms. A couple of points, you know, I didn't know the devastation when I was recording my video, and I probably had too much coffee anyway, and so I just kind of ended as my own jovial self, and I really wanted to come back and readdress that, as this is a much more serious situation than I knew while I was recording the video. There, to my knowledge, I mean, I'm not going to go through statistics and stuff, but there were deaths confirmed in the double digits. There's devastation in the very city where we went to eat dinner last night, at the very intersection where our restaurant was. There's a lot of destruction, and I just didn't really realize it. And so now we're looking at the news and seeing what everybody's reported and the pictures that are coming in, and it's just horrible. So before you see, you know, my ending of the video here, I just wanted to put this serious note on tornadoes. Like, they don't joke around. Okay, back. Go ahead and end the video here again, and I'll get into editing and see what I can do for the end of this video here. So thanks for watching. If you're in the United States at all, you may have seen there was a huge band of, they always say tornadic activity, you know, winds that were way stupid high winds. And they went like across a whole bunch of states and came right through St. Louis. So the backside of our house is filled with hail holes in our siding, so we're going to have to look at replacing some siding there. Our yard is kind of a mess we're like on a downhill, and so any water that falls, any rain that falls comes downhill and goes through our front yard. So we've got kind of a mess out there from all the debris and stuff that it pulled downhill with it. And so that was today's Saturday, but our internet is out, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to post this video today or not. And but then Friday morning when I woke up, I found that one of our goats had passed away. We had her for 14 years, and she was about 2 when we got her, so about 16 years old. And you know, I find different things on the internet about how long they're supposed to live. This was our first experience with goats. And one place I saw said 10 to 15 years is the lifespan, but they can live up to 30. So I don't know where that's supposed to fit in with her, you know, but our other goat that we had that passed away was also, you know, about 15 or 16 years old. So we had a good amount of time with her, and we loved her. Her name was Spot, and I'll put in some pictures here. Warren, I want to thank you very much. You posted a comment about wanting more pictures of Mocha. So I was starting to like take pictures of the goats over a couple of days. And I don't remember when the last time I took pictures with Spot in them, but I got these pictures here just last week. So it was very nice to see this one picture of her, you know, more recently. And then I'll insert the little pictures of her when we got her. So that was unfortunate that she passed away, but luckily she was right out in front of the yard. If she just disappeared or she was out in the woods somewhere and we didn't know where she was, that would have been really, really, really sad. So we were able to take care of things and say our goodbyes to her. The morning with that, and then ending the day with the storms that, you know, you're holding on for dear life. And if any of you were in tornado areas, I hope that everything is going to be okay with you guys where you are. And that's what I've got for you today. I hope everything is well with you where you are, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you so much for your time. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.